Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Good Wednesday morning and welcome to GBN Live. I'm Todd Cartner, your host. And guys, guess what? It is a beautiful day in Myrtle Beach, and we are excited to have with us Skyler Bird with the Skyler Bird Web Design right here in our studio. We're going to get him on in just a moment. We do want to thank our sponsor, which is Grand Strand Law Group. You can reach out to them at 843-492-5422 with offices in Myrtle Beach and North Myrtle Beach. They're your real estate attorney, and they'll be glad to help you out there. Don't forget, if you are watching today and you have any questions for me or our guests, make sure you put those in the comments below, and we'll be glad to get those on air. Also, stick around for our giveaway, and we have some exciting news that's going to be coming up that we're going to announce right at the end of the show. So stay with us. GBN Live is next. All right, guys, welcome back. I'm Todd Cartner, your host with GBN Live, and today we have with us Skyler Bird here with Skyler Bird Web Designs. Welcome, Skyler.
Good morning, Todd. It is interesting being on the other side of this.
I know, right? It's kind of cool, isn't it?
I'm in the comments down there cheering everybody on.
Well, now we can make those comments live. How's that sound?
I like it.
So, all right. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and that kind of stuff, family, whatever.
I am a rare breed, actually, Todd. I'm local. Been here my entire life.
He's an Horry Countyite. Have you ever heard of that?
I have not until now.
Well, we'll make it official. You're an Horry Countyite.
Yeah, born down here, been down here my entire life, lived at the beach. Been doing that for 25 years now. 25. We were talking about that this morning, that one of our members, Joe Kohler, who's with ADT in the Carolina Forest chapter, he and I have known each other longer than you've been alive. So now we consider ourselves local too. You're more local than I am. That counts.
That's awesome. So somebody says, hey, Skyler, guys, I do see some comments in here. If you are watching on Facebook, you do have to accept the terms so that we can make sure that we see you on here and you can enter in the contest. So make sure you accept that StreamYard/Facebook, I believe is how it's listed in there, so that we can see who you are when you make those comments. But we have somebody said, hey, Skyler, and somebody's already said hashtag GBN Rock. So remember, you won't get in the contest if you don't accept that, because we don't know who you are. But anyway, so how long has Skyler Bird Web Design been in business, and how and why did you get that started?
I started in high school. I was living in this small town called Charlotte, a lot smaller back then when I was out of high school, 18 years old.
Yeah.
I was going around applying 5-6 times a week looking for a job, knocking on doors, coming in. They knew me on site as the guy looking for the job. I tried. Nobody would hire me. But I had I had a couple hobbies I did in high school, this being one of them. And I thought, okay, this could be profitable. This could be something.
Yeah.
Let me give it a go. Let me try it out. I'll hire myself. Nobody will give me a shot. I'll give myself a shot. So I bought the zoning thing in Brunswick County. I got the business license. They didn't even have a business license for me because they didn't even know what that was.
Right.
Even in, 2015, 2014, whenever that was, They didn't know what I was even doing. Put an ad up on Craigslist for like $5. Got my first 2 clients that same day.
Oh, wow.
So excited for that. And it took off from there. I've been doing it ever since.
Does anybody use Craigslist anymore? I don't know. I haven't been on Craigslist in a couple of years.
For tradition's sake, just because of those first 2 clients, I still do.
Yeah, there you go.
Just for that. And I find that a lot of kind of older business owners, more traditional type of people, they are on Craigslist still. The less, more friendly term, computer illiterate people are
Sure.
still using that instead of Facebook, instead of your other directory sites. That's where
Right.
they go to for everything they need. So I find that people that need a lot of help are often still there.
It's funny because so many people used to be all over Craigslist, and then it kind of switched over to Facebook, and now it's TikTok and Snapchat and this and that. And you know, I did hear this week though. Let me turn this off. I'm sorry here. Hey, Terry Ann's watching from our Myrtle Beach chapter. Thanks, Terry, for tuning in today. And I see Stephanie's in there too. So hi, Stephanie. But I heard this week that Elon Musk has purchased Twitter for millions and millions, billions, whatever it's what a lot of zeros dollars. I could have helped him save a ton of money because you can download it free in the App Store.
Ah, what a simple thing. I think that the order has been accepted. I don't know if they've gone through with the purchase yet.
Right. Yeah. He hadn't written or signed the check yet.
Essentially, yeah.
Whatever.
I'm excited for it.
I don't know. It depends. We're going to see how that is. So look, I know that when it comes to web design, you believe in a simple process. You like to keep it simple. You like to keep things simple for the client, simple for you. Can you explain that process a little bit to us and how that interacts with a customer that way?
Oh, totally. Yeah. I found getting into this that a lot of guys doing this base a lot of their ego on the fact that they do it. They have to feel important. They have to feel smart. They have to feel educated. They have to have this sort of established, entitled thing going on. And that's really entirely unnecessary. I'll go to a client and they're borderline apologetic about it. They go, I'm sorry, I don't know what this is. I don't know about, servers, hosting, any of that. And they feel bad. But if I go to my doctor and he says your LDL is too high, I don't go, I'm so sorry. I don't know what my LDL is. I say, let's fix it. Let's do it. That's for him to know. I'm not here to know. That's why I'm going to you. There's no reason to be apologetic. And it seems like a lot of these people that really want to feel so smart and so intelligent have made this kind of culture of just it being unacceptable to not know these things. And I would say the overwhelming majority of my clients are people that don't know it. They know the physical business. They know how to run a restaurant. They know how to build houses. They know how to do any other number of things that I can't do. And they come to me to do the rest. Right. And that doesn't need to be complicated.
And, that's with any job because as a realtor, you can definitely sell your house on your own.
Yeah.
But what they found is that most of the time you leave money on the table when you do it yourself. The same thing with web design. You can design something that looks pretty, but that doesn't mean it's going to be functional. And it doesn't mean it's going to be able to be searched online like it should, which leads me into our next question. And that's about SEO. Yeah. I know SEO is still important. That's search engine optimization. That's what gets you ranked on your website. That's when you come up as, if you're a plumber, you're going to come up on the first page as opposed to on page 60 that nobody ever goes to. And most of the time that's mixed in with things that have nothing to do with plumbing. You'll see faucets there for sale at Lowe's. You'll see anything other than hiring a plumber.
Being conservative, yeah.
Yeah, right. So tell us a little. Hi, Emily. I see Emily's watching today.
Hey, Emily.
Emily, you might want to rechange that because you got GDN rocks, and I don't know who GDN is.
Second try.
But you're close. Oh, there it comes. Good job. Good job.
I appreciate Emily. She's the best.
I know. Emily rocks. How's that? Emily rocks. Hashtag Emily rocks. But tell us about this SEO. What's some tips that somebody, not even if because there's a lot of web designers out there that don't push SEO. They just put a simple website up and leave it and they say, oh, yeah, it's great. And people don't realize that if you search yourself, then guess what? You're going to start coming up in those searches because they know that you search it. That doesn't mean you're going to come up when anybody else searches. So give us some tips that people can use for SEO that are simple, that they can do themselves outside of the website even.
Oh, entirely, yeah. I think it comes down to more of a functionality problem, really, that a lot of designers like to think of themselves as artists. They really fail to kind of consider and weigh that functionality is a big part of design. Like you look at any work of art, say the Thinker or Michelangelo, outstanding artwork, great artwork, not very functional seats.
True.
Not very functional for anything other than looking at.
That's right.
And that's a big consideration when doing these sorts of things is, am I getting a return for the client? Are they getting more eyeballs on their business? And oftentimes you'll see either with designers or even with people doing it themselves because they think the same thing. This looks good. This is pretty. I got the Squarespace template. It looks pretty. It looks good enough.
Right.
I'm done. Customers are going to love it because I love it. And they really fail to consider, did you tell anybody where you are on the website? Did you say, hey, we're located in Myrtle Beach doing this? Or did you just say we're the best plumbers ever and then didn't specify where? It's always the basics, I find. People are either doing all of it or they're just doing the basics. And I find with a lot of these things kind of universally that 20% of your effort is going to give you 80% of the result.
Right.
So I would say it's making sure you have those basic details out there, where you're operating, phone number, contact email, your service is plainly laid out, because Google doesn't just figure these things out. You have to tell it.
Well, and that's a great point, because Google is actually a computer that is searching those terms.
Yes.
So just like Emily misspelled GBN and put GDN in there, which is fine. I understand, Emily, but you're not going to show up as GBN if you type in there GB or GDN.
Yes.
So it's not only what you put in there, it's also making sure that you put the right stuff in there. I see Patricia is joining us today. She says, hi, Todd and Skyler. Hi.
Patricia.
Nice to see you, Pat Horton. So even let's take that SEO a little bit further. One thing that somebody can do, a Google page. List their business on Google.
Please list your business on Google. That's the first thing everyone misses is please get on Google My Business or now Google Maps. Let them mail you the postcard. Even if you operate out of your home, you can tell them, hey, customers don't come here. I operate in this radius. Don't tell them where I live, please. They'll respect that. You're at least listed on there. And you're showing up when people search for whatever you do on Google. Realtors on Google, plumbers on Google, electricians on Google. You're at least contending with everybody else, and you're out in front of that audience.
Absolutely. And that's great. Also, you have Google reviews.
Yes.
Or any review that you put online. Those things stay there, folks. So when you put a review on there, those things stay there. And that means that you are going to be found forever and a day that is there. Oh, hey, Terry says, hey, hope you can see my comments now. We can, Terry. Hi, or Chris. I don't know which one it is. It's Terry or Chris. But hey, guys, glad you are joining us today. We help members do this with GBN because when you're a member and you actually go on our website, we put a link to your website in your profile.
Yes.
So that is known as a backlink.
Yes.
How important are those?
Tremendously important. They are what tell the search engines, usually Google, namely the big one, that you are who you say you are. You're established. You have some sort of reputation in your community or wherever else that people are talking about you. They verify that you exist. It is very crucial to getting yourself established in those search results. That's why it's a big deal when you join your Chamber of Commerce. They give you a link. You're in that directory. You join your networking groups like GBN. You're in their directory. That's an immediate bump to your search rankings right off the bat. The same with your social media profiles. If it all matches, if the phone number is the same, the name is the same, similar-ish pictures, things match, and Google can say, okay, this is very consistent. This is where the information's coming from. It's all the same. We can verify this is a real operating business doing actual business. That puts you a lot higher in the results because they can confidently say, okay, our searchers are getting what they want.
And you just brought up a great point. And it is so important not only to have the information out there, but have the information out there consistent. Example would be, you don't want to put on Facebook a link to your website and put skylerbird.com and then go on Twitter and put your link to your website and put www.skylerbird.com.
Yes.
Because the search engine is a computer and they look at those as different terms, just like there and there, or something like that. Same thing with a phone number. You don't want to put just all numbers with no dashes on one and put numbers with dashes on another or numbers with dots on the other. It's got to be consistent across the board because that way they know it. And you mentioned photos too. That's where your alt text come in.
Yes.
You put the same alt text on any image that you use regularly, and then Google will say, hey, this is relevant. And they see it's relevant. And I'm talking like I know what I'm doing with websites. But it's relevant because people, or Google's going to say, they show up on this website, they show up on this website, they show up on this website. They must be doing business together and liking each other.
Yes.
Because you're repetitive on it.
And it gives you some sort of relevance in what you're doing because Google's getting there. They're not willing to gamble on it yet. But you have to tell them what the picture is. If you posted a picture of a sink, a shower, or anything else, you have to tell them.
It could be a puppy dog and
yes,
they not know it.
They won't know.
Right.
You have to say, this is a shower, this is a sink.
Right.
So they then have the relative sort of keywords, the sort of things you're associating with you by that picture that you then have told them what it's of.
Right. Pat has a good question. She says, is there any way for a direct sales company to get on Google?
Like we covered earlier, you want to get that Google My Business or now Google Maps profile, have them mail you that card in the mail, give them the code once they do that, get set up. And a big thing that everyone misses, everyone's afraid to do, they don't want to seem too salesy. Ask for reviews.
Right.
Say, we've worked together. Would you mind giving me a review? Because the more of those 5-star reviews, the more relevant they are. The more you have, the higher you're going to rank. Google's going to give the guy with 100 5-star reviews obviously a higher spot than the guy with the 2 5-star reviews or the guy with 49, 4-star reviews.
Right. Right. And Pat, that's a great question. As we mentioned earlier, you don't have to put your physical address in there.
Yes.
So you don't want to do that, especially in direct sales or if you work from home. So Jackie says, hi, Jackie, thanks for joining us. Michelle Griffin's in here. She says, good morning, Todd and Skyler. And here's Deb. She says, Skyler's awesome at what he does. If you need a website created, I help. If you need a website creative, I help with social media. And help with social media, probably.
Right.
He is your guy to go to. Very professional, very thorough, and is very attentive to his customer needs. Thanks, Deb. We appreciate that as well. So that's great. So let's go into another way to leverage some of those backlinks, like we said, is on social media, but not just in your profiles. It can actually even be in your post.
Yes.
If you post something on there and then you put in there, you put in your website address, your phone number, just like you do in your profile and everything else. That would be awesome.
It would be, yeah. You'll see with a lot of businesses, these sort of social media posts you'll see break down into 3 basic categories. I know there's more, but for simplicity's sake, they fall into either here's what we're doing, a quick update, here's something funny just to share, something to interact with, and then there's a call to action. And you'll see businesses really only do one. It's just they're posting memes all day and, okay, well, what do I do? Or they're selling all day, every day, saying, come by, come by, come by, come by, come by. And it's just, well, I don't want to follow you. It's just a sales pitch. But if you're doing a good ratio of those and you're doing your calls to action with those sales pitches mixed in, they should be going to your website. They should be going to your platform that you control, taking the audience away from Facebook, off of the platform that you don't control, over to yours, to your email list, to your contact forms, to your CRM, to something that you have complete control over. You can't be banned from. They can't put you in,
That's right.
my contact form jail.
Right.
Sorry, you can't get contact forms for 30 days because you shared the wrong opinion.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's so
that
true.
should be the goal, is to post those calls to action over to a platform you control, even if that is just your phone number.
Yeah. And with a marketing background, it's also important that you not post the same post all the time. It really gets to where we don't pay attention to that as viewers. If you're posting the same picture, instead of posting a picture of your business card when you're posting on social media, post pictures of your work. Yes. Let people see what you do. I've got a guy that I see constantly that does bathroom remodels, and the only thing he posts is his business card. And I'm like, that's great, but can't take a shower in your business card, so that's kind of crazy. So let's talk about different groups like Facebook groups, even YouTube channels sometimes that people are like I subscribe to a lot of real estate channels that are up in the Northeast, and I tag them all the time and stuff, make comments on their post, and people start seeing me, and I've actually gotten clients out of that because they say, hey, he's a realtor in Myrtle Beach, and I'm supporting somebody in the Northeast. And so that works too. But going into different Facebook groups, how important is that? And I'm assuming stay consistent with your post amongst those Facebook groups so you're getting a bigger audience, but also make sure you're putting that website and your phone number in the comments.
Yes, you need that call to action. You can't just come in and say that you're a personal trainer, post a fitness meme where it's like Daffy Duck falling over on Monday and it's hard or whatever.
Right.
You need to give them something to do. You need to tell them what to do. That's going to increase your click-through rate. That's going to increase your sales, eyeballs on you. Tell the customer what to do for starters. Yeah. And I found it really depends on the group that you're in, how interested they are, how engaging they are.
Sure.
Some are just everyone is selling at each other angrily and nobody wants to buy from anybody because we're all selling. But you get a lot of them. Like you see a lot of these down here in Myrtle Beach, the Myrtle Beach business owner groups and things like that, where you come in and you offer something of value, even if it isn't immediately a sales pitch. Say, for example, you're that plumber again. If you come in and say, okay, I'm going to make some kind of content here, more of a what we're doing type deal. Here's how to unclog your toilet yourself if you're at home at 2 a.m. or something like that. Get them introduced to you as an expert in plumbing. You've given them something of value. They then associate you with that plumbing emergency. You've all around built a relationship with these people immediately right out of the gate, and you're in a position to sell right after that.
Yeah, that's awesome. And how many times have you heard me say it? Know, like, and trust. If you know, like, and trust them, and that's one of the ways to build those trust is by putting that information out there like that. So, Pat says, I posted something on our Facebook page and it says only one person saw it. How do you get more people to see your post in the groups?
Okay. Bit of a contradiction there because one says they posted it to our page and one says in a group.
Right.
I'm going to assume it was to the page because if it's in a group, you have considerably less control over that. Depends on who follows the group because all posts, I think, are treated the same depending on engagement. But regardless, I would say a big portion of that is it's worth reflecting on and looking at. Are you providing value with the post?
Right.
Is it something that people want to share? Is it something that you would want to share? If you found it, would you go, okay, this is interesting. This is good. I like this. This enriches my life or would enrich somebody else's life. And I want to put that out there and share that because those are ranked and based on engagement. Are people liking it? Are they commenting? Are they sharing? Are they doing things that in Facebook's eyes keeps you on Facebook for longer? Because if you're sharing things and posting things, as harsh as it sounds, that nobody wants to read, nobody wants to engage with, nobody wants to like or share, Facebook isn't going to show that. That's why you see your cousin arguing politics over in the corner all the time, and you don't see your friend's baby pictures because no one cares about the babies, but God, they want to fight about politics.
Right. Nobody cares about the babies more than their parents. Right. So I get that. Michelle says, hey, Todd's wearing my favorite color is the purple. We know that. Deep purple is the color. Yes. As a matter of fact, in your profile picture, you're wearing it looks more like a raspberry. But yes, it looks fierce. Skyler is awesome, and I'm learning a ton of new info. Thanks for watching, Michelle. Guys, let's take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about social media and things like that, and we're going to walk through the process of getting Skyler to do your website. So stick with us. GBN Live will be right back.
Hi, I'm Jess the San. I've been a canine liaison at Grand Strand Law Group for, 30 years? What's that? You don't believe me? I meant 30 dog years, of course. First rule of lawyering, read the fine print. Anywho, my humans at Grand Strand Law Group have a combined 20 years experience. I know, not as much as me, but that's in people years. So yeah, still pretty impressive. Real estate, estate planning, or probate, you need GSLG.
Grand Strand Law Group. Trust us, we have a dog.
Great Business Networking grew out of the idea that by creating lasting friendships within the community, we can make the community even better.
I was looking to network with professionals and to be able to refer my clients to somebody that I trust.
Well, it's really important to trust the members of the group because we really generate quality referrals, and to know somebody, be friends with them, and get that the qualified referral is the key to success.
It is networking, but it doesn't feel like networking, and that is important to me. I come to the meetings, I have fun, I make great connections, and I help grow my business.
GBN, these are some of the best professionals in the market, and having that resource available to me, that's priceless.
Well, GBN is a network of business professionals that build long-lasting friendships that will not only grow my business, will grow yours as well. That's what referral marketing is all about.
GBN really is the most important marketing for your business. Check us out today. All right, guys, welcome back to GBN Live. I'm Todd Cartner, your host, and with me today I have Skyler Bird with Skyler Bird Website. And if you have any questions, go ahead and type those in the comments. We've had a lot of great ones today. We do see somebody that put a post in that says, hey, y'all, make sure that you accept those the link with StreamYard and Facebook, or otherwise we don't know who you are. So please make sure you do that. Myra says, Skyler rocks. Yes, he does. Myra, thanks so much. Lori says, thanks, Skyler, for the information. Thanks, Lori, for joining us today as well. But make sure you accept those, because if you don't, then we can't see who you are. We see your post, but we don't know who you are, and it won't work on the giveaway later. So anyway, back to the show here. Skyler, we talked about social media accounts. So many people are into Facebook because it is the easiest. It's a very easy platform, but there's so many other ones out there that businesses are able to take advantage of. Twitter, LinkedIn, even Snapchat people are using now. TikTok for business is crazy. It's really going. But also I'm noticing Facebook Reels and Instagram Stories are two really big ones that are pushing right now.
Right.
Talk about those, how easy they are, how you recommend them, and everything else, and what can you do specifically on those that could tie them back to your website?
Totally, yeah. I think a big thing worth considering is where your audience is. Say, for example, if we're doing GBN online, I don't think we're going to get a lot of traffic from TikTok.
Right.
Unless we get Michelle dancing on there for us, I don't see us getting a lot of traction with that, because the audience and demographics are all people my age and younger, and not often business to business on there. It tends to be business to consumer, or even more influencer to consumer.
Right.
And the same sort of applies to Instagram to a degree. You're seeing a big push for more business on there, definitely. In the Instagram Reels, not Facebook Reels, and Stories on there. So kind of short form content, very quick. I don't think they work very well for earlier, like we established, those calls to action. But if you're sharing something fun, something interesting, or you're sharing, here's what we're doing, here's an update, they're outstanding. I've heard from an associate of mine, he's using that in TikTok purely for content creation, purely for here's what we're doing kind of posts, here's some fun stuff kind of posts. And he said he's found on Instagram and TikTok, kind of the more short form, quick, rapid fire social media sites, that he's finding that prospects, employees are coming to him from these platforms saying, hey, you guys look fun to work for. It looks like it's very fun on the back end. You guys have a good time. You're laid back. I want to come work for you.
Yeah. It makes me want to work for Cool Ideas Marketing.
It does.
And dance every day. She says, as a matter of fact, she says, thank you, Skyler. So that's pretty cool. That's awesome. Let's go ahead and put up Dancing Debbie and all right, well, I guess we're not doing Dancing Debbie yet. We're going to be doing rapid fire. So anyway, here you go.
Here we go.
Rapid fire.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
10 quick questions, simple comments with the answers. What was your first job?
I was a dishwasher.
Any restaurant you want to mention? Or?
Gravy Southern Eatery at Sunset Beach. They're still operating.
I've eaten there.
Great. I love them.
They are.
Outstanding people.
Great prices, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very family oriented. I've eaten there. Night owl or early bird?
I'm usually up late. I was up until 3 a.m. last night.
Yeah.
So here I am.
Were you nervous about today's show?
A little bit.
You don't have to be nervous with me. Michelle will tell you that. Dog or cat person?
Oh, man. I guess dog. The dog gets me out moving around. I walk him every day. So dog person probably.
There you go. There. It's hard to walk a cat.
They're not agreeable.
Nope, that's true. That's so true. Dark or milk chocolate?
I think I prefer dark. The antioxidants.
Oh, yeah. Health and nut. Ugh. Favorite color?
Yellow.
Favorite word or phrase? Yellow. Really? Really?
It's hard to work with.
That is true.
When you're a designer and I have one client, I won't name names, maybe they're watching. You get yellow and magenta to work with as their colors. Challenges you, it changes you.
It sure does. It would go with the deep purple.
It would.
Yellow.
Ideas, Michelle.
There you go. Favorite word or phrase?
Oh, that's a hard one.
Yeah.
I think what I established earlier, that 20% of the effort gets you 80% of the way. And I see so many people that just don't start things.
Right.
And you put in the first 20%, you can get so far. So I think that.
We're all guilty of staying consistent.
Yes.
You could put out terrible videos regularly, and that would be much better than putting out one high quality 4K video and put it out one time.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. Favorite movie?
Oh, that's a hard one. It is this YouTube documentary. It's free. Titled "Life in a Day." They challenged a couple thousand people to record their daily life over the course of one day in July in like 2012. It's a very interesting perspective on how much is going on in the world every day, just everywhere. It's very enlightening. Really opens up your perspectives and horizons.
Deb Zimmerman said that she would like to walk in my footsteps for one day one time, and I said, no, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. Trust me, I get it. Favorite song or artist?
Oh, man.
I find this tells a lot about people.
That's what I'm worried about.
I love it.
I like Phil Collins.
Oh, yeah. Now, Phil Collins is Phil Collins or Phil Collins with Chicago?
I like him on his own.
Yeah, I like him on his own better, too. Favorite vacation spot?
Oh, man. Down here.
Yeah.
It's great down here.
That's it. And favorite mobile app that you use every day, not GBNs?
Not GBN.
Yeah.
Probably Obsidian. I take a lot of notes. After this, I'll take notes on what happened here. I do a meeting. I take notes. Like, this is not meant to store mass quantities of information. It's meant to process information. And I find that this thing right here in my pocket can hold as much as I need it to for days and days and days. I'm right after taking my notes, remember it. I'm good to go. I like that. I might need to get that app. Obsidian.
That's it. There you go. All right, that's cool. So let's put up Dancing Debbie now. And guys, you stay. I want all of you watching today to come back next week because we're going to get rid of Dancing Debbie. Where is she? Over here. She's over here. We're going to get rid of her next week. So you guys take one last look at her. So let's put up the hashtag GBN Rocks banner. And guys, make sure you type it in the same way you see, no spaces, hashtag GBN Rocks, and you'll get into our contest today. So yeah, that's good. You're right, Lori. Genesis, not Chicago, and I knew that as soon as it came out. And anyway, but you're right. I should have known the music girl is going to keep me straight on that one. So yeah, so that's cool. So Skyler, let's walk through. If I were to come to you and say, hey, I need a website done, what's that process look like?
Yeah, I find that a lot of my clients really kind of get super overwhelmed. They feel like they have to have the technical stuff figured out. And it's the same thing as the doctor analogy. Like I go to the doctor and he says, I need an MRI. I don't go, well, I can't operate that big spinning thing. What are there pedals in there? How does that work?
That's so true.
So what I like to do is I'll handle everything start to finish. One thing I recommend, or I really kind of enforce, is as a business owner, as a brand, as yourself, whatever you're online for, you need to own your domain name. Like in my case, I need to own SkylerBird.com. Todd needs to own GreatBusinessNetworking.com.
ToddCartner.com.
ToddCartner.com too. That is an asset of your business, and anyone that wants to own that for you should be a big red flag.
100%.
Things you can't move away. Like you'll see that with your Wixes, your Squarespace, things like that. So I will have the client buy that, and if they struggle with that, I'll sit down with them in person on the phone, buy it for them, and then give them the login information to take it over from me. But otherwise, I will sit down. I'll hand draw it out myself, what I think the layout should be. We'll move on to a digital mock-up, which is kind of like a picture of the website. where I come in and I say, all right, let's hurt my feelings. Let's tear it apart, change the colors, move things over here. Let's get this thing to where we really like it. This is just a picture. We can tear it to shreds. Nothing's in code yet. I find a lot of designers like to use the visual editors. Strange in the sense that I prefer to code everything out myself. I think and design much faster through code, as odd as that sounds.
Oh, sure.
So I code everything out on my own after that. Everything, I have hand done the functionality for everything at some point or another. Maybe I've written a few of my own plugins, but all my code, all things that depend on me. So if anything breaks on down the line, I'm in control of that. We haven't lost our, WordPress contact form or something like that because I've written the code for that. From there, we get a working demo up in private, at a private link. No one can see it. We sit down on the phone, in person, whatever we have to do, look it over, make sure we're all happy with it. If we're happy, push it live to the domain name. We're good to go.
There you go. That's awesome. I like that you're giving people a visual first. And one thing that I learned back in my graphic design days is that a lot of times when you come up with something, it is so far advanced and better than what the individual was thinking themselves.
Yes.
So when you come out with that, they love it. So I don't know how it is with you and doing the websites, but a lot of times they don't change much.
Not really.
Yeah, because they like that, that first thing, because you're the professional. You know what to do. So all right. Well, before we get into our last question, let's go ahead and draw here. Let's bring up our giveaway. Here we go, and we've got some entries in there. If anybody else doesn't have that in there, make sure you put in hashtag GBN Rocks. We're going to have just a couple seconds to see if anybody comes in. And then we're going to be drawing there. We're going to give away a gift card of $25 to Walk-Ons over here in Carolina Forest. And we're actually, just so you guys know, we do have some people that are watching down in our Charleston market, and we are working right now to get a gift card lined up with a restaurant down there so that we can make sure that you guys don't have to necessarily come up to Myrtle Beach. But if you do with that $25 gift card and you come to Myrtle Beach from Charleston market and you need to go to dinner, you can always take me or Skyler.
Always available.
We always like to eat, don't we? All right, so let's go ahead and draw and see who our lucky winner is for today. And our lucky winner is going to be someone that is watching today, because if you don't put the hashtag GBN Rocks in, you're not going to get it. But the winner is going to be Terry and Chris Button. Awesome. Guys, if you will just type in the comments, or actually, if you will go to my Facebook page and let me know, or you can just text me, and we will get your information so we can get that card over to you. So thank you guys for entering today. We greatly appreciate it. So Skyler, before we wrap it up here right quick, tell us what being a member of GBN means to you, and also another step further of just network marketing and how that has changed the way you do business.
Yeah, absolutely. GBN was one of the first ones I joined up with. I started off with one in Brunswick County for a little while. I did a few others in North Myrtle, but I hit GBN after Deb Zimmerman recommended me to it. And honestly, the way my brain works, the way I prefer to code things out kind of brain works is I love the structure. I love that it's laid out. It's clear what's happening, what to do next, what we're doing here, what's expected of me. And it was a great opportunity, and Todd attests to this, for me to get in, practice my speaking, get better at pitching myself, presenting myself, getting in front of crowds, and building up that sort of soft skill set that I never really had a chance to develop during COVID when all went away.
It's hard to do that on a Zoom call.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
And I found that networking has really opened a lot of things up for me. I've met a lot of people I wouldn't have met otherwise. I've had a lot of opportunities I would not have otherwise got. And that was kind of my thinking for a while, was I'll stay at home, I'll run some ad campaigns, I'll do X, Y, Z. And I think it's very easy to discount that humans are very social creatures. This right here gets me a lot farther than this right here does.
That's true.
We need to meet face to face. We need to interact. We build trust in relationships like this through the eye contact, through hearing my voice, through seeing me. And it's very easy to discount that way too much, and it's very easy to not value it enough. And I'm slowly learned that quite a bit, and I'm very happy with what I've done so far.
Well, awesome. Well, we're glad to have you part of GBN. You can contact Skyler 910-384-0774 right there. Or you can go to his website, skylerbird.com, and you can reach out to him and get your website started. Guys, I also just want to take a moment because somebody questioned me this last week. How do they get on the show? Well, the only way you can get on the show is if you are a member of GBN. This is one of the perks that we offer our members, where we bring them on, let people get to know their business a little bit better, let them get to know the individual a little bit better. But you have to be a member of GBN in order to get on our show. So if you have any questions there, you can visit our website at gbnonline.com, or you can call us at 843-602-9880, and we'll get some information there. Let's see who we have up next week. It's going to be Quadarius Gray. We call him Q. He is a member of our Market Common chapter, and he is with New York Life, and we are excited to get him on here and see if we can get him in the studio with us. I'm sure he's going to be next week, and we can't wait for that. So, Skyler, thanks so much for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you around for many more years.
Thank you for having me. I'll be here.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on GBN Live.